Hey guys, Adam here. So I'm going to be talking about the Apple Watch Series 1 if it's worth it in 2020. So yeah, let's get started. So this is actually the 42 millimeter with the nylon loop, and yeah, and you can see it's the aluminum edition. And so this Apple Watch was released back in 2016 of December. And yeah, it was not actually the first Apple Watch because you might think, oh, the Series 1, that must be the first Apple Watch. Actually, there's an Apple Watch 1, like the first gen. And so, yeah, it's kind of confusing, but that one was released back in 2014. So, yeah. So, let's talk about some of the specifications of this watch before we actually get into the review. So, first of all, we have a 1.65 Retina display that is 390 by 312 pixels, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually pretty good. And like I said, it's Retina, so it's oh shoot, it's pretty. I mean, it's not focusing. Oh my god. Yeah, you can't really see, but it's Retina. Except if you get up real close, you could see pixels, obviously. But still is a very nice a panel. And not only that, we have 512 megabytes of RAM, which again might not sound that good, but it's actually pretty good for a smartwatch. And we have the Apple S1P chip, as well as that we have a 250 milliamp hour battery, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but this is actually one of the best Apple Watch batteries of all of them. This is even better than the Series 3. And I'm not sure about the Series 4 and the Series 5 yet, but I know that it's better than the Series 3 and the Series 2 and the first gen Apple Watch. So yeah, it's pretty good. And yeah, so the Series 1, you might be asking yourself, wait, so you have a Series 1 Apple Watch, but you have a OnePlus 7 Pro. Yeah, I still actually use an Apple Watch, even though it doesn't connect with my OnePlus 7 Pro. I just use it for the time and the weather and some games I actually even have on here. So yeah. So how is the design? The design is actually very comfortable, and the nylon loop that I have is very, very nice, and it wraps around all the way, and yeah, it's a good fit, and yeah, and the aluminum's very nice. It feels very premium, and just as good as the Series 4 and the Series 5 Apple Watches. Now, there is a little bit of a bigger screen. I mean, a little bit of a smaller screen compared to the Series 4 and the Series 5. 42 millimeters versus 44. But it's really not too big of a difference. I mean, it is a little bit, but it's really not that big of a difference, and still feels very nice and pretty big screen. And yeah. So obviously, I know some Apple Watches have this. There is no video recorder on here. But you can see it's actually kind of similar to iOS. Like, it's kind of similar in some ways. Like, you can see the icons are very similar, but besides that, like, this is not even close to, what it looks like on iOS. But if we go into like general or something like that, you can see it's pretty similar. And to go home, you have to press this button, so it's kind of like a home button. And to check all your apps, instead of double pressing this, you actually just press this button right here, and you can close your apps or do anything like that. So yeah. So this right now is on WatchOS 6.2. It might be getting an update at some point, but so far I haven't got any more updates. I think that's the latest version that you can go to on here. But yeah. So how is loading apps on here? Like, how speedy is it? What is 512 megabytes of RAM compared to? Like, how good is it in real world use? Well, let's do a little bit of an app test. So I'm going to close all the apps right here, and I'll show you how long it takes. I can't really compare it to anything, but yeah. So here, let's close all these apps, and let's start with going to messages. You can see that was pretty fast. Settings, pretty fast. pictures pretty fast. So those are some basic apps, but what if you wanted to go into a game? Let's try this game. You can see it takes a little while. I forgot what this game's actually called. I haven't played this for a really long time. But you can see this takes way longer. But it's pretty smooth once you actually get into the game. I'll be doing a little bit of how good it is. Oh, it just must have timed out. Because these things time out occasionally. So, yeah, I'll do it when it gets loaded. Oh, right when I stop the recording, it actually just loaded up. And, yeah, you can see it's pretty smooth, and there's not really any issues. You know, it's a really simple game. No lag or anything like that. So, yeah, when we close out of the app, it takes us to the main home screen. Anyway, let's go into some more apps. Let's go into the App Store. You can see that was almost instant. Let's go into Alibaba. See, instant. CNN. That took a little while, you could see. It's loading the stories. And what's cool about this Apple Watch is you can actually just check all the stories. And like without going on your phone. If you don't want to, take out your phone or anything, you could just click, like 2 buttons and then there you go. You're there, so. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to do it fully, but, yeah, that's basically it. And another thing that I really like is how it's not even close to what it looks like on iOS, but it's very, very smooth and clean. Now, comparing that to a Apple Watch first gen that was released in 2014, it's much, much slower. This is very smooth, this is very, very smooth compared to the first gen Apple Watch. And yeah, and what's cool is that you can just, instead of, going on your iPhone, you can just add a message. Obviously, I can't do that, but yeah, it's really, really fun and really, really simple. I would even recommend this for a person who doesn't have an iPhone, because this is still a really great Apple Watch. So yeah, you can see. You can also customize what it looks like, so you can actually swipe around to choose the different ones, but I normally use the Mickey Mouse one. And yeah, guys, that's basically it. I'm sorry for not uploading on Sunday, which was pretty busy. Anyways, guys, see you guys later.